Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey, this time with Eternity Code. And I'm recording this way ahead of time because I'm recording this before Jeexx has even left for his trip, and we will not be recording Eternity Code before he comes back from his trip. But since I made the deck, I figured that I might as well make the breakdown now when I know what I'm actually gonna be talking about here. So for our deck, we are playing Gouki. This is something that way back when Linker started, this was the other deck that I was considering when Trickstar was coming out. But then a lot of Gouki stuff was still yet to come, so I figured that, you know what, it's something that I'll probably play later as more stuff comes out. I kind of forgot about it for a while, but now when this set came out and I was between, like, there's also Animator and Archosaur, which stuff is really good for dinosaurs, but there's not really other dinosaur stuff there. There's Chamber Dragon Maid, but once again, no other Dragon Maid stuff there, so kind of hard to make those work. And the other deck that I was considering was Generaider, but because Jeexx was so open last time that he's gonna kind of run it back with the half Plunder, Patroll, half Generaider deck, then I'll let him do that, because Generaider, I think, like, here is really good, like getting their like actual normal summon, getting Har, having Girsu in the set, as well as I think Jeexx mentioned last time. Like, I think Generaider is going to be pretty good here, but I decided to go for the other option that I was already considering for this set, which was Gouki. And you can see where the looks weird. That's because at this point, like, a lot of the good Gouki stuff has already come out, so we're just running the stuff that's here essentially just to, you know, meet the quota, so to speak. So yep, without further ado though, let's go through the deck and see what we're working with. So important note about all the Goukis: Gouki is a Link archetype that likes battling, and all of the main deck Goukis also have 0 defense. But what they actually do, let's find out. First, we have 2 copies of Gouki Iron Claw, doing the damage that when your Gouki monster battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to grave and give your monster 500 attack, and it is unaffected by your opponent's card effects for the turn. If this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand except for Iron Claw, and this is something that is present on literally every single Gouki. That is basically like, if you use these as link material, they replace themselves. So I will not be referring to this for the most part, but essentially this is a hand trap. Then we have a Gouki Guts here. Defense position card cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use each of the following effects of Guts once per turn, and during your make phase you can make all Gouki monsters you control gain to attack and attack permanently, and then it has the Gouki effect. Then we have a single copy of Codebreaker Day. Sorry, I almost said day 0, but it is a level 4 1800 attack monster. All link monsters pointed to this card lose 1000 except for Codebreaker link monsters. If a Codebreaker link monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is on the field, you destroy this card. And if this card is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can add 1 Codebreaker 0 day from your deck to your hand. We don't have any. This is here because we can do stuff, as we'll talk about here, with it a little bit, but mostly it's here just to, once again, fill the quota. Triple copies of Parallel Exceed, it's free link fodder, which is nice. The issue here is that all of the Gouki cards themselves, they're super xenophobic, and they only want Gouki monsters, the most Generous one is Powerload Ogre, who takes 2+ warrior monsters and doesn't specifically need Goukis, but every single one only takes Goukis. But for stuff like Virus Swordsman, we can use 0 Day or Exceed, and obviously we can make Access Go Talker, which we'll definitely talk about with that as well. It's just free fodder on the board. Triple copies of Effect Veiler, it's in the set. It helps us meet our quota, super nice. Triple Ash Blossom, and I've kind of seen the light. I'm running Nibiru as my second Ash rep alongside Ash this time around. Then we have a single copy of Monster Reborn, a Call by the Grave, because obviously everything we do adds stuff from the deck to the hand, so this will always be live. And a single copy of Terraforming. We don't need our fill spell, but once again helps us fill our quota, and it's nice to have. We'll cover it in a little bit. As for the Goukis that we've seen before, we have Super X, which is our normal summon. On normal summon, you can spell summon a Gouki card, monster from your hand, and then it has the Gouki effect. We have a Gouki Headbat. If this card is in your hand, you can send one other Gouki monster from your hand to the grave to target a Gouki monster you control. Special summon this card in defense position. If you do, the targeted monster gains 800 attack until the end of this turn, and then it has the Gouki effect. So it fuels our grave and also summons itself freely on the board. Obviously, super nice. We have Triple Twist Cobra. As a quick way to attribute a Gouki monster to target a Gouki monster you control and give it attack equal to the original attack of the distributed monster until the end of this turn. It's just useful sometimes to have if something would be destroyed anyway, like might as well get something, but mostly just, once again, a decent normal summonable body. We have a single copy of Scorpio. It is a level 5. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are Gouki monsters, then you can normal summon this card without tributing. And if this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand, blah, blah, blah. The same usual stuff. But the issue is that this is a normal summon. It's not a side row effect or anything like that, which is why I'm only running it at 1. Double Gouki Octave Stretch. If your opponent's monster attacks during damage calculation, you can discard this card, and the damage you take from that battle is halved. And when your opponent activates an effect that would burn you, even during the damage step, you can discard this to halve the damage. And then it has the Gouki effect. Essentially, it just halves a lot of damage. It's a way for us to get a Gouki super easily to the grave from our hand, which is really nice. And it is also something that we don't really mind discarding for something else, like a Headbat. Then we have a single copy of Bear Hog. Bear Hog is a level 6. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gouki card or normaled by any means, you can target a face monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its original attack until the end of this turn, and then it has the Gouki effect. This is here to enable us to ODK. It is a decent body as well. It's just nice to have, but I don't want more than 1. Triple copies of Gouki Rematch, probably the best card in the deck. Target 2 Gouki monsters in your graveyard with definite levels and spawn them then in defense position, and you can only activate 1 per turn. This is why fueling our graveyard is super important and super nice. It is just a monster reborn for 2, obviously insane. Then we have the field spell Gouki Cage Match. When this card is activated, you play 3 counters on this card. If your Gouki monster destroys an opponent monster by battle, remove 1. And then once per turn at the end of the battle phase, if the last of these counters has been removed, you can spawn summon as many Gouki monsters as possible in different names for your hand and or deck, and then place 3 on this card. Basically, Jeexx, do you have a spell trap removal, or is it gonna win in the grind game? But obviously, if he's gonna be playing Generaider, he won't have really trouble popping stuff. So yeah, it's still like, it's like I said, it is nice to have. Finally, for our 40th card, we have a Rhoda, because obviously everything we're playing, apart from a couple cards, is a warrior. As for the side deck, it's pretty boring. We just have a Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill here from the set. Oh, this is actually something that I need to check with Jeexx. I actually don't remember how we've agreed to do like legacy support. For like if you have stuff in your side deck, because I remember us talking about it at some point, but I actually don't remember if we ever ended up coming to a conclusion somewhere. So I'm actually gonna talk with him and make sure, because for my side deck, all I did, there's Ghost Moon and Moonlit Chill, who's just here to give us Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit and Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, just to have more hand traps. Then we have Taotai Dragon here to give us access to Phantasme. And then we just have a single copy of Gravedigger's Trap Hole and 3 Twin Twisters if we feel like Jeexx back row is being a problem. But obviously a lot of this will look different depending on like what our verdict was there. But I actually don't remember because I don't think it's come up in a long time. But I basically don't really care about my side deck apart from having the triple twin twisters there. So I just filled it with random stuff apart from that. But I'll make sure to check that with Jeexx. I'll probably have an editor's note or something here, and you'll obviously see how my deck looks in the actual episode. As for the extra deck stuff, let's start with the non-Goukis here. We have Codebreaker Virus Berserker, which is actually, there's a link to, let's start with this. Virus Swordsman takes 2 effect monsters, and when this card is special summoned, if it's co-linked, you can special summon a Codebreaker 0-day from your hand, deck, or grave to any zone that a link monster points to. And during the end phase, if this card is in the grave because it was destroyed while your position point opponent's card is sent to the so you can special it, but banish it when it leaves the field. And it's nice because it is a link tool that can revive itself. It's a warrior, so we can use it for Power Load Ogre, which is our best Gouki, as we'll see in a little bit. And obviously this means that if we summon this when it's co-linked, we get our Codebreaker 0-day, which is why we're running it on the field. And then we have Codebreaker Virus Berserker, who takes 2+ monsters, including a Codebreaker monster. And when this guy is special summoned, if it's co-linked, you can special summon up to 2 Codebreaker monsters from your hand and or graveyard to any zone a link monster points to. So obviously, if you summon this co-linked and you still have one of your arrows available, you can summon both Codebreaker 0-day and probably the Virus Swordsman that you use for this back, which is once again super nice. And then during your main phase, you can blow up spell traps your opponent controls up to the number of link Codebreaker monsters on the field, and each effect is a once per turn. But I didn't really feel like we needed more of any of the Gouki stuff, and Access Code hopefully just wins the game if it ever comes out, so I didn't feel like I needed that add more copies anyway, so these slot in nicely, and as I said, they're both also warriors. Let's cover Access Code Talker here. One of the more iconic link monsters of all time is a link 4, 2+ effect monsters. Your opponent cannot activate this card, any cards or effects in response to this card's activations. And then if this card is link summoned, you can target a link monster that was used as a link material, and this card gains attack equal to that monster's link rating times 1000, which means if you're using a let's say a link 3 and a link 1, you can make this a 5300 beater. And then it has an effect where you can banish a link monster from your field or grave and destroy a card your opponent controls. And for the rest of this turn, you cannot banish monster with the same attribute to activate the effects for Access Code. And this is also what's nice because we have the Codebreakers are darks, whereas all the Goukis are Earth. So we at least have 2 activations, hopefully. But when Access Code comes out, hopefully we're just winning the game outright. Then as for the others, we're not playing any of the Splash Mage stuff. We could be playing more into Access Code, but I wanted to actually play Gouki, so we're playing Gouki. Let's start with the Link Force. We have Gouki the Power Load Ogre, which is a Link 4, takes 2+ warrior monsters, 2800 attack would be crazy, 2800 attack, gains attack equal to the combined link radius of all of the link monsters you control times 200. Link summon card is unaffected by other cards' effects, so a pseudo towers, and well, I don't know as a pseudo, and then you can tribute a Gouki link monster then target cards on the field up to its link rating and destroy them, and this effect is a hard once per turn. Obviously, being able to pop, gain, attack, and be basically towers, this card is a menace. We have a single copy of Gouki the Master Ogre, takes 2+ Gouki monsters, and once per turn, quick effect, you can return it to the hand any number of Gouki monsters you control that this card points to, and then target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls and negate them until the end of this turn, and this can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and if your opponent controls a face-up monster, this card can be the only target. This card can only target their monster with the highest attack for attacks. He's always going for the strongest one. Then we have a single copy of Gouki the Giant Ogre, takes 3+ Gouki monsters, 3000 attack, and cannot be destroyed by battle and is unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters with attack less than or equal to this card. And when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card and or a monster that this card points to, you can make this card lose 500 attack permanently, negate the activation. Once if the current attack is different from its original attack, you can as a quick effect make this card gain 1000 until the end of this turn. So a basically weird Appaloosa, but essentially does the same thing pretty much. And then we have Gouki the Thunder Ogre, 2+ Gouki monsters. It's a Link 3 this time, 200 attack. The monster this card points to is destroyed by a battle or card effect by any means. You make this card gain to 400 permanently. The turn player applies the following effect while this monster is on the field. During the main phase, they can normal summon one monster from the hand to the zone this card points to, in addition to the normal summon or set. And you can only get this once per turn. We're only ever using this to immediately do something else. I am not trying to give Jeexx an additional normal summon. Then we have Gouki the Blade Ogre, Link 3. Against 300 attack for each monster it points to, and once per doing attribute a monster this card points to, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Very simple. This is something where I was earlier talking about, like we can set up OTKs with stuff like Bear Hug. This is just here if we can go for the OTK. That's why we're only running it at 1. Then we have another Link 3, Gouki the Solid Ogre. 2+ Gouki monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it points to a Gouki monster. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target a Gouki monster in your main zone, except for Gouki the Solid Ogre, and move the monster you control to your main monster zone this card points to. Which basically just like if we are starving with slots, like this is something that we can help with that, because obviously having a sideways pointing arrow, Solid Ogre is something that we can use for more Link plays. About 2 copies of Gouki Heal Ogre, Link 2, 1000 attack, 2 Gouki monsters. Once per turn when a monster this card points to activates this effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy it. Then you can spot summon a Gouki monster from your graveyard except for Heal Ogre. Pretty nice, obviously. As either we can pop something of our own to get a summon of a Link monster or anything like that to climb later, or later we can just use this as a negate if need be. Finally, we have a Gouki Jet Ogre at 1 copy. Link 2 takes 200,000 attack, takes 2 Gouki monsters, once per turn you can target a Gouki card you control, destroy it, and change all monsters on the field to face up attack position. And if this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can make all Gouki monsters you control gain 500 until the end of this turn. And once again, this is here just to set up an OTK. Whew, that was a lot of yapping. Sorry, we've basically never seen any of these cards apart from obviously that one set where I highlighted them at the dawn of the Link era, but a lot of these cards were not out yet. So we've only seen a couple, like Master Ogre I think was out at that point, but it was a lot of yapping. Hopefully you still enjoyed the deck breakdown, sorry. And as I said, like I'll hopefully have an editor or something there when I know what we were actually doing with Jeexx with the side decking thing, because there's a good chance that I've just forgotten about a rule for the side decking, so I'll make sure to check that. Sorry, it's late for me with him before we play for the next time. But thank you for watching the deck breakdown. Hopefully enjoy Jeexx as well, and afterwards I will see y'all in the dueling zone. Anyhow, we're just about to play the games. During my deck breakdown, I was unsure about the ruling I showed with Jeexx, so obviously we believe that you need to have something in your main deck that gives you the legacy stuff, and then you can have your side deck even full with that if you want to. So I made the changes. Ghost Mourner is in the main deck now, and Telltale Dragon is also in the main deck. So yeah, that's the final deck that I'm now gonna be playing. So yeah. Enjoy Jeexx deck breakdown. I'll see y'all in the dueling zone.
Okay, so we are playing Eternity Code, and I believe this is the final set of reigns. Yes, it is the final set of reigns. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I just woke up. But yeah, we're playing Eternity Code, the final set of re-reigns, and this is gonna be the final set of the anime era of Yu-Gi-Oh. We're gonna be moving on and actually achieving modern Yu-Gi-Oh from here on out. I think that's kind of a big deal. I think it's very scary to think that we've been doing this for like almost 20 years in actual like card game time, which means that it's been like 3.5, or give it not quite half, but three years and a third or something. But yeah, I am playing Plunder Patrol today. I'm going to be playing another deck as well. You're going to be seeing that in a bit. I'm playing Ash Blossom. I have Ash Blossom, Bluebeard. Bluebeard has the effect of it can summon itself if I control another Plunder Patrol, and if it's sent from the hand or the monsters onto the graveyard, I can discard a card and draw a card. I have Crimson Resonator in here for my Archfiend Bane and my Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, because Resonators are part of the Red Dragon Archfiend archetype. Therefore, they give me access to these. I also originally intended to put a dragon in here, being I also got Hope from somewhere? That's not right. I'll need to double check that. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have top tier dragon in here. Right, yeah. Fuck. Cheating count plus one. Cheating count plus one. Let me just grab that real quick. Memes. Can I actually see this? There you go. Times cheating deck building. At least 2, guys. There you go. But I was supposed to have a top tier dragon in here. Gives me access to all the dragons that I could ever want, and also it doesn't really take much space, so I can just shove it in. But yeah, we got Deep Sea Artisan. These are water sea serpent monsters that support each other, and the reason why I'm running these is because all of the Plunder Patrols are also water, so I felt like this would be a really good way of actually mixing them into each other. Also because they allow me to kind of dump Plunder Patrol cards into the graveyard, and since a lot of the Plunder Patrol cards have effects in the graveyard, this can be fairly useful. This has the effect of if this card is added from the deck to the hand or by an effect of a water monster, you can reveal the card and look at your opponent's hand. If this card is spell summoned, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard and target a level 4 or lower water monster and a special summon it. And then we have Deep Sea Diva, we have Deep Sea Minstrel. Deep Sea Divas are I think everybody should know what this card is. It's a level 2 Sea Serpent tuner, summons another level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster from the deck. This is like a core of old ass synchro engines. Like you could play Malicious and Deep Sea Diva to make level 8s really easily. Deep Sea Minstrel, you can discard this card and one other water monster and look at your opponent's hand and banish one card from their face up. And this effect is what I was looking at originally, being like, wait, I can run these together, and this can be really useful because I can actually maybe all in. If I see your hand and I see you don't have Nib, I see you don't have Ash, and I see you don't have Infinite Imperm, I'm just gonna go for it. If this card spell summon, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard and then target one level 4 or lower water monster in there and then place it on the top or the bottom of your deck. So obviously the idea here is I summon this using Deep Sea Diva, I mill 3, and I send one Plunder Patrol card back to the deck, and now I have multiple other cards in the graveyard that I can use for other stuff. Another new Plunder Patrol card. Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. Funnily enough. You can send one other Plunder Patrol monster from your hand or face up on the field of the graveyard and special summon this card from your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can discard one card and special summon this card, but you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except Plunder Patrol monsters. Important. First effect doesn't lock you out, second effect locks you out, which means that for the first effect, you can actually use it for other cards like Deep Sea Prima Donna, Scarlight, Hope of Owen, or Access Code. After it's the second effect, you end up in a position where you're obviously locked. Then we have Redbeard again, we have Whitebeard again, and then we have Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. Equip only to a Plunder Patrol monster. It gains 500 attack, also your opponent can't target it with card effects. You can send this equip card to the graveyard and special summon one Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster of the field or in the graveyard. Take the monster that was equipped with this card and equip it to that card. To that special summon monster. Now, equip monster gains 500 attack. Plunder Patrol ships shipping. Fusion, summon one Fiend Fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand or field as fusion material. You can banish this card from your graveyard and then target a Plunder Patrol monster you control. Equip one Emblem of the Plunder Patrol or a Plunder Patrol card or monster from your deck to your deck. So target. And then these two are obviously 2 new cards from the set. I think these 2 cards kind of make this deck a lot significantly better, because Plunder Patrol shipping is a really good discard fodder card, which I obviously want to have because I have cards that want me to discard cards. Like for example, Bluebeard wants me to discard card, and I think one of you wanted me to also dump cards when I use your effects. No, let me remembering. But then also newest, the Golden Hair wants me to discard cards. So this thing essentially allows me to set up for a Emblem of the Plunder Patrol or another equip card. Plunder Patrol Shipyard. Plunder Patrol makes you Plunder Patrol monsters you control gain 500 attack for each Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap card zone. You can only use each of the following effects of Plunder Patrol Shipyard once per turn. You can discard one card. That's another discard effect. Add one Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Plunder Patrol card in your spell or trap zone. Set this card, and if you do, return that target to your hand. This card is actually, the more that I'm thinking about it, with all the new support, this card is really good. Like this card is legitimately really good for the deck. Because obviously before you were in a position where you're like, well, I only have these 2 guys and I only have this field spell and like the 2 of the traps. But now that I have Emblem, and now that I have shipping, and now that I have both these, they're really useful. This becomes a really useful card to actually be running. So that's why we're running 4. We have terraforming, we have infinite, impermanence. We have plunder patrol booty again. We talked about this last time. It changes the attribute of one of your opponent's monsters and allows you to essentially summon a plunder patrol monster that has the same attribute. Recycles some of your plunder patrol cards, or summon them again. And then Plunder Patrol Party allows you to draw up to the number of Plunder Patrol monsters you control +1. I draw cards equal to the number of equipped cards you control +1, and then shuffle as many cards back in the deck as you have equipped cards. So essentially, it allows you to go +1. It allows you to go ±0, but because it's on the field, it allows you to like activate it whenever you need it. And if it happens that you just draw into some useful shit, you can just shuffle your useless stuff back into the deck and then activate like Nib on your opponent's turn. I don't know. And the second effect is if you summon Plunder Patrol monster file in the graveyard, you can equip this card to that target, and that card gains 500 attack. Again, this card's pretty good because you can use this with like Blackbeard to summon out some bullshit and then go from there. Then we have Pride of the Plunder Patrol. If your Plunder Patrol monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, draw one card. If you control Plunder Patrol monster, you can send this face card from the field to the graveyard and activate one of these effects. Your opponent draws a card, and then you look at their hand and send one monster from it to the graveyard. Look at your opponent's extra deck and send one monster from it to the graveyard. So essentially, this card allows you to set up for your Plunder Patrol effects, because spoiler, there's going to be a moment in this episode when I realize that, wait, I'm playing Plunder Patrol against a deck that doesn't have a single attribute that I can actually use for my summons, which means that I'm locked to purely Blackbeard unless I get cards on field to use them as material. That's bad. But looking at this card, it's like, oh yeah, this card exists specifically for that, in the sense that maybe their extra deck will not have just that attribute. But then we have Plunder Patrol Ship List, which is the newest Plunder Patrol extra deck card. This is a really good one, actually. It's a fusion, 2 Plunder Patrol monsters. During the main phase, quick effect, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from your hand or face-up spell or trap zone. And when your opponent activates monster effect, you can discard 1 Plunder Patrol card and negate the activation. And if you do, then if this card is equipped with destroy it. And if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, you can add 1 Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. So the problem here is obviously the fact that this card adds cards to your hand, which means you can Ash my negate. But still, this is an Omni negate. Well, it's a monster negate, but like, it's a monster negate that also fuels your plays, because you can use it for like all the discard effects on Redbeard, Whitebeard, and Bluebeard. And then on top of that, it also allows you to summon stuff from your hand or face a spell trap zone, so you can use the effects of like equipping cards to each other more readily. And yeah, overall, I think this card is a really good addition to the deck. Then we have Deep Sea Prima Donna, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner. Your opponent can target synchro monsters that use this card as a material with monster effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Deep Sea Prima Donna once per turn. You can target 1 card on the field on your opponent's banished cards and add to your hand. Add to your hand or special summon 1 level 4 or lower water monster from your deck, and if you do, add that card target to their hand. So essentially, if Weebfox playing something that banishes shit, I can use this to get any one of my cards in my entire deck into my hand. This is just in here for a very niche situation where I might have Deep Sea Minstrel and like Redbeard, Whitebeard, or Bluebeard on board before I do anything else. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 banished card and shuffle it in the deck. And here I get to use this for like recycling anything that might have been shot. Then we have the other 2 Plunder Patrol cards. So we have Scarlet, we have Hoboen. I don't think we talked about this card. 2 level 4 water monsters. When anyone declares an attack, you can detach 1 material from this card. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose 1,000 until the end of this turn. And when this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can draw 1 other monster in your graveyard and a special summon it. This card is like actually really good for fairly lower power decks that can get out a lot of water monsters. I used this back in the day in my hero deck with Bubbleman and Tinklefish for the Bahamut Shark totally awesome Darklaw core, right? The idea there was, Darklaw is fairly small, so if I can get Hope Bowen out, I can use Hope Bowen to guarantee that Darklaw doesn't get run over. And on top of that, if I'm not misremembering right now, never mind. I was thinking like of a few other hero cards, obviously, that don't have the clause that they must be fusion summoned or summoned by their own own card effects. But yeah, Hope Forward allows you to then summon out like a Shadow Mist, and then you get to set a Mask Change, and then you get to use the Mask Change of the Shadow Mist to get another Dark Law. Basically, this thing guaranteed that you could have a good backup plan. But other cards in here, Access Code Talker, just in case I happen to get into it, and then obviously Blackbeard. We're gonna talk about Access Code Talker in the video, so you're gonna be there, right? Anyhow, good luck with the games. Okay, so as you might have picked up, I'm playing 2 decks today. Woohoo! We're playing Eternity Code and we're playing Generaiders, and it's largely because of the fact that I don't think Generator gets enough support for a really long time for me to try to play it again, and I don't think Patrol gets support until like 2023. So I'm sitting here like thinking I want to do both of these decks because I promised I'd do both of these decks, but the 60 card variant that I made, dude, this is unplayable. Like, I ran into the situation of I don't want to have both of these decks in at the same time, so I'd rather just side things out. But I realized that the core for the Plunder Patrol stuff is just too big. It's just way too big for me to actually be able to run it. So I wanted to separate the two, essentially making a pure Generaider and pure Plunder Patrol deck. Although Plunder Patrol arguably isn't completely pure because it also has Deep Seas in it. But yeah, I'm running 1 copy of Protoss. 1 copy of Protoss, I mean... Ash Blossom, 1 copy of the Velgas, 2 Effect Veilers, Frody. Frody is the one that shoots stuff, kills stuff when you tribute monsters. Ghost Mourner, 2 of them, and then we have Har, Generator, Boss of Storms. This is the guy. The guy. The guy. The dude. Can control only one of them. Once per turn, if your opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, except during the draw phase, you can make them send 1 monster. Quick effect: you can make them send a monster they control or from their hand to the graveyard. And when an card or effect is activated, you contribute 2 Generaiders and or 2 Spellcaster monsters and negate the activation. And if you do, destroy that card. Simple as Omni Negate. Really strong, really menacing, really scary. Then we have Hela. Obviously, this card allows us to get Hars back. It's the card that resummons cards from the graveyard. Then we have Lopter, which is the card that makes the deck actually function now. You can only control one of these guys. Generator monsters you control again 1 doesn't attack during your opponent's turn only. During your main phase. Sorry. Quick effect, you contribute 1 Generator monster and special summon 1 level 9 Generator monster with a different name from your deck. And there we go. This card is a normal summonable version of each of the boss monsters. This card makes the deck actually run. Then we have Mardel. We have Nemesis Corridor, because Nemesis Corridor allows the target of any banished monster and special summon it. This card can be really useful. There's an argument to be made that, like, when I was doing the scrap combo, right? The scrap combo relied on stuff like this, and this card, if this was in the scrap combo for Orcust, this would be really good, because this just allows you to reset an Orcust into the deck. That's great. This card is actually kind of spooky, and I'm kind of curious if I can end up running. Because, like, there's a 3rd deck that I wanted to play in this set, obviously, which involved a certain Mech Knight, you know? But we'll get around to that. We'll get around to that eventually. And I don't think I'll be able to play Corridor in that, because Corridor is obviously impossible to get. There's literally no other card in the entire... Never mind, there are 2 cards that exist from fucking... Oh shit! Maybe we'll get there actually. And then obviously Nemesis only exists in Nemesis cards. But then we have Nidhogg, Generator, Boss of Ice. 3S Hierarchia. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute up to 3 fairy monsters, but summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field, which is important for Nemesis Corridor, which targets a banished monster, shuffles it back in the deck, and summons Corridor from your hand. Triss Hierarchia says that when you summon it, depending on the number you attributed, you get to shoot shit. So, for example, if you attributed 2 monsters, you can destroy a card your opponent controls, and if you attributed 3 monsters, you get to draw 2 cards. But you don't need to tribute 3 monsters. That's important. You don't need to tribute 2 or 3, you can tribute 1. So if you end up in a position where you only have 1 token up, you can still tribute the token to get a Triss Hierarchia on field, and then going from there, you can get like Nidhogg, Jormungandr on field, and then you can use like you can summon out in your opponent's draw phase, you can summon out Hela or Har again, or you can summon a Hela to summon Har back after you've detached it using Jormungandr's effect, and so on. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can just do here, kind of. But yeah, Triss Hierarchy, Called by the Grave, Boss Loot, Boss Quest. We've seen all the other cards in here. We're not going to talk about the extra side deck because I'm not citing. Jormungandr, Heart Earth, Access Code. We have more Charmers, and that's about it. There's the rest is Nightmares, and then we have Taltia Dragon, just for the fact that it's a dragon, so we get access to new dragons that we might want, which in this case was Heart Earth Dragon. And then we have the Arrival Cybers at Ignister, which is a card that we might just get out at some point, Because like it's three plus monsters with different attributes, which is a not impossible situation to get to. These are light tokens. These are dark monsters. There's a water. There's a light. There's a wind, and so on. There's a world where I can get this out, and it can be pretty good. It's a towers. At the end of the day, it's a towers. Well, good luck with the games.
Ladies and lads, they thought it wouldn't happen. They thought the series was done, but somehow the Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey prevailed, and we are back. I'll be honest as well. I did not realize it had been 3 weeks, but yeah.
3 weeks, damn.
I mean, I did.
Digimon fans are like fucking dead at this point.
It is just literally, it is the fucking joke where it's Pokemon is being lifted up, the Yu-Gi-Oh is drowning next to it, and at the bottom it's the skeleton called the Digimon. So it's still there, but it's a whimsical one, that one. So yeah, but
the last episode came out July 8th, guys. Please make sure to tell Weebfox that he should definitely make more episodes of Digimon.
I did. Last time we played Avatar with Ryu, I did get confirmation from him, at least, that we, he's like a lot more open to like we can do Digimon a lot more now again. So should be returning back as well. But there are so many series, man. It's difficult.
I understand.
But yeah, we're
do an hour.
The one final thing before you get started is we're doing things a little different this time because Jeexx really had 2 decks he wanted to highlight. So we're, instead of running just a straight best of 3, we're doing single with siding, and then if it goes to a 1-1, then Jeexx will pick whichever deck lost and play that again, because he really wanted to highlight both Plunder, Patrol, and Generaider. Because I think initially the plan was to do a mixture of both like last time, but there were like too many good new cards, right?
Yeah, for Plunder Patrol specifically, I ran into the issue of I was like, well, I wanted to only play Plunder Patrol.
Fair enough.
And the Generaider package last time fit into my side deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just be like, okay, first game I play pure Plunder Patrol, and second game I have a bunch of bullshit in here that I can just side out, and I kind of only play Generaider for this game, or I play a mixture of the both. So for now, it became an issue of I have more than 20 Plunder Patrol cards finally, which means that over half of my deck is going to be Plunder Patrol, so I can't replace all the Plunder Patrol cards with Generaider cards, which led to me being like, well, I also get like 2 new really good main deck cards for Generaiders. Mm-hmm. One of them essentially making the archetype into an archetype.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I draw boss stage, I play boss stage, your go. Oh, I play this. This guy actually gives me a normal summon and lets me do some bullshit. So I was kind of keen on trying both of these.
Gotcha.
Also, this set has some bullshit for siding that I'm kind of glad that I'm not going to get to play. Namely a card that says, hey, you want to kill all cards under the specific attribute? Funny how that works. Anywho, I'm going to start out by normal summoning.
I'm playing actually honest stuff, so we won't be seeing nuke all X attribute. Well, I don't play the racist cards.
Okay, that's good. I'm playing it in my side deck in both decks, so I'm not siding. No. Anyhow, Bluebeard, the Plunder Patrol shipwright.
Avast, matey.
He has the ability to actually summon himself if you control another Plunder Patrol monster. Unfortunately, as you can probably figure the fuck out, I don't have another one. Then I would like to activate. Now here's a new card as well. Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. Equipping it to Bluebeard. It has the effect of it gains 500 attack. Also, you cannot target it with card effects. I can send this equipped card to the graveyard and special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from my extra deck that has the same attribute as a monster on the field or in the graveyard. So in this case, as you can probably see, there isn't really much I can do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I would like to start off by activating the effect of Emblem of the Plunder Patrol to summon out a monster that has the same attribute as Bluebeard currently on the field. So I will be summoning out Blackbeard. And then I will be moving Bluebeard to Blackbeard because it is equipped to it after it was special summoned. And now
It gets
Bluebeard
500
has
extra.
500 attack. It's huge, actually. This is actually a really like solid play overall for the deck, so it's not too bad. Then
I mean, anything to get to Blackbeard from what the little I know of Plunder Patroll is like anything to get to Blackbeard, like you can do stuff because this is like the heart and soul of the deck, right?
Yes, except for the part where like I still don't understand how I'm supposed to use this, because I'm sitting here with Blackbeard on board, right? I want to use Blackbeard, and then I get to draw a card, but I don't get to react to what you're doing. Is there a card in my extra deck now that actually... Oh.
Is that a card from the hand? Oh yeah, it's hand or monster down to the graveyard. Is there like a link one or something? Because this doesn't occur when it's detached from an Xyz monster, right? Because those only trigger if they have just generic, if this is sent from the field to the grave.
Yeah, it's because all of the Plunder Patrol cards have discard effects or effects that just immediately jump in the grave.
Fair enough.
But I think I'll actually end on this. I don't think this is too bad of a board.
Target effect monster. Same attribute, point controls, and then... I guess you can have like some other stuff, or you can always equip Blackbeard as well. But all right, Doro, standby, main, and let's start with a simple terraforming.
Terraforming.
I assume that's okay.
Wait, let me just like go through a list in my head of what the fuck could you be playing? You will immediately see. Okay. Shoot.
All right. And I will use it to grab to my hand the ever powerful Gouki cage match.
Oh my god!
This is an archetype that I've thought of playing for a long ass time, and now finally, like, I was between this and Generaider. I had built like decks for both, and then you're interested in running back the Generaider and Plunder Patrol stuff, so I was like, well, that makes the decision easy for me. Let me finally bust out the Gouki.
I think that's good. I think this is a good like matchup now.
Fair.
I think the main issue is that this fucking archetype sucks as much ass as both of these that I'm playing.
Yeah, it was super early in the Link era. It was good as just like extra Link hand loop spam with fire. But yeah, now I'm playing. I'll say like I'm playing this like completely pure. So unfortunately, it's very bricky and doesn't really do that much. But you know, you can do some stuff with it still, which is fun.
Assault, but... Right? You have to be playing Assault in this time, right?
You could be. Now, see, the issue in this specifically was that the only Goukis in the set actually are Guts and Iron Claw. And neither of those are specifically great, so a lot of I just played those two alongside like all the like hand trap stuff from the set as well, like the generic stuff. Which the nice thing was that the set had Ghost Mourner, which also gave me a good side deck, because otherwise I didn't really have much for my side deck there. And Effect Veiler, so I can have like Effect Veiler and Ghost Mourner and then just the two hand traps, so that made it so that I can actually meet the quota with the other generic stuff, which is why I'm also playing Terraforming, which, obviously this field spell is very bad.
I think this build is sick though, what do you mean?
It is sick, yes, but it is bad. It is cool, but it is bad. But it's literally to just meet the quota, and I couldn't fit any of the, because there's the Phoenix Blade. There are a couple there are multiple equips that specifically talk about warriors, so there's enough to make Isolde work, and Isolde is obviously also warrior support, so it would be a fair game here. But unfortunately, I didn't have the slots for the the thingamabobs. And I was initially like, I mean, I can play it still because all of this stuff is warrior stuff. I can play it in my side deck, but at the same time, I feel like we see Isolde enough, so I end up going for like, let me just put more stuff in my side deck that's like more like the hand traps if I actually get to do my Gouki stuff, and let me just focus on like actually being able to do the Gouki stuff. Because the issue with Isolde in this deck specifically is the same as with everything else. If you don't open Superx, you don't play the game at all. Because like without Superx, putting two Gouki names or two monsters in general on the board is actually pretty hard. So it doesn't fix that part. So that's why I ended up going for like, I think it's cooler to just go for a more pure build. So that's why I ultimately went for that. With all that being said, though, I would like to normal summon Gouki Superx.
And then, what does Gouki Superx say?
When he's normal summoned, I get to spell summon a Gouki monster from my hand. And then every single Gouki main deck monster shares the same line of text, where if it's sent from the field to graveyard, you can add a Gouki card from a deck to your hand except its own name. Yep.
Don't like.
And I'm pretty sure, actually, yeah, this doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be game, but we'll see. We will see. Unfortunately, that will be all I can do. And this is welcome to Gouki.
Oh, don't worry. I can't do anything more. Either.
I mean, you can run over my Super X, and after that, I'm literally, I have a 2 out of 33 chances to play the video game. You, like, it is literally the only card in my deck that does anything, and that's the issue with this archetype.
Make sure that your place counters on the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is when my Gouki monster destroys some opponent's monster by
When this
battle.
card
So.
is activated, place 3 counters on this.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll do those. Yeah, but it's like I said, I don't think it is very likely
particularly
that
matter,
they'll
but like,
do
I'm
much.
mostly just saying it in
But
case
yeah.
it comes up. So I have realized something about your deck. Your deck is like completely Earth Warriors, right?
Yep.
There is no Earth under Patrol.
Well, it doesn't matter because the deck is still like, if you interrupt Super X, the deck doesn't play the game, so I don't think it matters.
I would like to normal summon
Go for it.
Deep Sea Diva.
Sheesh, go for it.
Activate the effect of Deep Sea Diva.
Mm-hmm.
Special summon from deck.
Yes, sir.
Summoning out a level 3 Sea Serpent. Now here's like something that I also kind of thought was interesting for specifically Project Patrol. It's the fact that they're all waters, right? So they have a lot of synergy with the deep sea monsters.
Yep. I just hooter.
I would like to special summon Deep Sea Minstrel in attack position. Activating the effect of Deep Sea Minstrel. When you special summon, I would like to mill 3 and target a level 4 or lower monster in the graveyard and return it to the deck.
Alright, go for it.
Wait. I think I can do this. Double checking.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be sure. So there's no ruling section for this. I'm guessing. Does it work the way that I'm thinking? $45 on Amazon.
What are you looking at?
I googled the name of it, and on one of the websites it was listing prices, and this thing is like $45 on Amazon apparently. But I can't find anything that wouldn't allow me to do this. So I'll mill 3, and then if there is a level 3 or 4
Jeez,
or
multiple
lower
waters.
I'll put this thing on the bottom of my deck, I think. Yes, I'll put this on the bottom of my deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then discuss some field, even special movement patrol.
Yeah. One of these guys had a recovery effect, but I don't remember which one it was.
We'll see when it comes, I guess. Dude, Whitebird has so much text.
Yeah, it's insane because it's just like, oh yeah, this thing has the exact same effects as pretty much everything else, and then it just has a lot of clauses.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see the shuffle from the equip cards you control. Oh yeah, there we go. If you spell summon Plunder Patrol, you can use this card. Yeah. I would like to activate. I mean, I already know most of them. Doesn't really matter, does it? I'll just activate this to draw cards equal to the number of equipped cards I control, and then shuffle cards back into the deck equal to the equipped cards I control.
Yeah, so you're drawing two and shuffling one back.
Yes.
Seems pretty good.
That's pretty nice. And then
This is one of those things which is like, if this was a better archetype, this would have no reason to be a trap card.
No.
Like, why is this a trap card?
no, I mean it has a instant speed effect, I guess, and you want to use it on your opponent's turn. But
It's still like, I mean, it is not the most outrageous one, because I think my favorite out of everything is Gleipnir Feathers of Fenrir, which is the Nordic. It literally just said add a Nordic or Aesir monster from your deck to your hand. It's the only line of text on the card, and it's just a trap card. It's just like, why is this a trap card? Like, genuinely. It is. Yeah. It's funny.
I'll activate the effect of Golden Hair to send Bluebeard from my hand to the graveyard to special summon it. Oh, actually, yeah, it has to be a monster card. I can't send the Bluebeard that is.
Yeah,
my spell trap summon. Yeah,
sure.
Important.
Yep, Golden Hair is fine.
Golden Hair.
Another tuner. Damn, triple tuner.
Bluebeard was sent to the graveyard. I get to discard a card and draw a card.
Damn, the red loading.
Just to check. Discard. And this thing has the effect of it can come back.
Actually, wait. It had the another. Wait, looting was what blue does. What was the red one? Because in Magic you had like blue. Rummaging. That's it.
Yeah, because looting is the thing where you draw this card, and rummaging is like where you
discard and draw.
Yeah, and you never like go even.
Yeah,
you always go -1 when you're rummaging.
Yeah.
So rummaging would be you play this card, you draw 2, you discard 2, right?
Yeah.
That's what Faithless Looting is. Which is weird because Faithless Looting is called Faithless Looting.
Yeah, what is it? It's funny.
It's funny. I'm actually thinking about this right now. I still kind of want to do this because I don't need to do the fusion summon, and I get to draw 1 for this. So I discard Plunder Patrol.
Imagine having options.
Shipping.
Go for it.
That's many words. To draw 1 card. And then I would like to activate the effect of Plunder Patrol Shipping Graveyard effect, which says I can banish this and target a Plunder Patrol monster I control and equip an emblem of the Plunder Patrol monster from my deck to that target.
Go for it.
So I banish this and I target Golden Hair to equip Golden Hair with a thingamabob, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to activate same attribute as a monster in the field or in the graveyard, and I still don't have one that I can actually use for this because you don't have anything there. I would like to activate the effect of Emblem of the Plunder Patrol to send it to the graveyard and summon. Wait, can I even do that if it's in this slot? So it would have to be here because the order here would matter. I would summon Bluebeard there, and then this gets equipped to it.
That's fine.
Right?
It's not like it changed anything.
Yeah, and then this thing gains another 500.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have an effect? This card is in your graveyard. Oh, if it's in the graveyard. That's a lot better than I thought. Okay, then I go swinging and I blow up. Bakum.
Mm-hmm.
200.
200.
1.2.
Yes, sir.
2.1.
Yes, sir.
And 2.1.
Yes, sir.
Then it's your move. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the Generaider deck. I need to change it.
Yeah. I mean, so for context for everybody, I already told Jeexx this, but when I was doing test hands, I did 4 test hands, and out of 4 of those, 1 was playable, aka one of those opened Super in my opening hand. So now we played 1 game, and I happened to get Super in my opening hand there. So there is a very high likelihood that now, when the game starts, what happens is I activate Gouki gay match and pass my turn.
How bad is this archetype?
I mean, it is literally like Suprex is the only playmaker in archetype. So it's literally like without Suprex you can't play the game. It is very bad, but I mean at this point, like I'm in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm the guy who just pulls up with bullshit and just loses 20 episodes in a row. But if I got uninterrupted the stuff that I could do, it could do maybe something cool. I mean, I can show the only play that I found with the deck afterwards, but Generator, if you do, go for it.
I need to check what Har's effect was. Not Har, Lotter's effect.
Yeah, I was about to say, how is the Omni Negate?
You contribute 1 card and summon 1 from your deck. Okay. I reveal Har from my hand, and I will add 2 Generaider Thingamabobs. Actually, I don't even need to reveal it. I think you get this. Is this okay?
Yep, go for it.
Alright. I would like to add to my hand
And Har goes to the bottom after, I see.
Yes. I would like to add a Generaider boss fight and a Generaider boss stage. And then to show that it's the Har that is going to the bottom of the deck.
Yep.
And then I would like to activate Generaider boss fight and set a not boss stage and set a Generaider boss fight and then pass.
Well, I can't believe you're telling me that it could have been anything. Yeah, and I would like to draw.
And then I would like to activate the effect of a boss stage.
Go for it.
I would like to special summon out from my deck a Generaider monster. I would like to summon out Har Generaider Boss of Storms. And then I would like to boss stage chains after this has been summoned. I would like to activate Generaider boss fight to activate directly from my deck another Generaider boss stage.
Yep.
And then you draw 1 card.
Yep. And then you get to do harsh stuff.
No, then boss stage active. Har activates and boss stage activates. I think I want to do boss stage first and then Har. So wait, does that work here even? You can make your exit during draw phase. I can't actually use Har here because it has to be outside the draw phase. Because they want you to not be able to send your opponent's cards for free.
Yeah.
Important. I would like to summon out a... This probably makes the most sense here. A Nidhogg. Generator, Boss of Ice. And then boss stage summons out tokens in attack position.
Yep.
Yes, and they all have 1,500 attack. And it's your move.
Stand by main. Well, we don't know what's gonna happen here, but I would like to attempt to Nibiru the board.
I would like to tribute the Nidhogg to negate the Nibiru.
Yep. Then normal summon Suprex.
It has to be Generaider monsters. Interesting. Or spellcasters. Interesting. Normal summon is okay. Are you activating effect?
Yes.
For the effect, I would like to tribute to
yeah. And that'll be it.
Yeah.
I got never win after Horus here, so. Well, this is.
You wanna show the combo?
Yeah, I'll just do that because it's the thing. Literally, nothing else that's in my hand doesn't really matter. The only thing that essentially matters is having Suprex and some Gouki in hand. I think Twist Cobra is the best, so I can just do it with that. So, normal Suprex, get Twist Cobra. You use these two. Go for a Link 2. I'll just go Heal Ogre because it also has a negate for some situation.
The reason why they were so good with Firewall was because every single time that one went to the graveyard, you would get another in your hand, and then you would instantly to summon it.
Yeah, that's why the one time Gouki was actually relevant was the they were very good early on, like abusing the hand loop because you just had infinite materials in your hand. Even though obviously back then there were way fewer Goukis. And then here you add, I think, I mean, always headbutt and the whatever. Just go Bear Hug because it's big and can use it later. Bear Hug to summon this, to discard that. The attack boost doesn't matter. You use these 4 to go into Thunder Ogre because it gives you an extra normal. Headbutt gives you a search. This search doesn't really matter anymore. I think I'll just...
Normal, right?
Yeah, it's literally like whatever you add, you just immediately normal it, and you mostly because rematch was for different levels. That's why I think like for this Guts is nice because for Guts is the only level 1 that I'm running. Cause actually wait, even Claw was 2. Yeah, so it's the only level 1, so it just makes sure that there are like levels for you. Then go these in the Power Load Ogre, which is essentially towers. Then the Rematch to hand, which is a good card after you've actually gotten to play the game. Nothing here matters because the only one that I haven't used is Bear Hog. So you go Bear Hog and then something else, and then immediately like you use both of those. You could do another Gouki, but the neat thing in this
You're not locked or anything, right?
Sorry?
You're not locked.
No. That's a nice thing that nothing in Gouki locks you into anything. I'll also show one variant because there is one card that I'm running. Actually, I'll just show you here that I am running that wasn't a Earth, which was this, which kind of it changes the end board a little bit if I have Parallel Exceed in my hand, which I had in the first game I had like literally the best possible combo, but just no disruption or qualify in my hand, which was unfortunate. But Parallel Exceed, it's essentially like Suprex, Twist Cobra, Parallel Exceed in your hand, and then Call by the Grave or any like hand traps. Like that's like the best possible hand that you can have. But anyways, with these two, you go for a Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, and I summon it in the middle, so it's co-linked. So I get to summon from my deck Codebreaker 0 Day, which I'm only running a single copy of. Then you use 0 Day and Virus Swordsman to make Codebreaker Virus Berserker, once again co-linked. It's co-linked, it gets to summon both of these two back. And then you can either, if you didn't have Parallel Exceed, you can use these two to make a second Power Load Ogre, or you can use these to make, oh yeah, also I'm realizing now I didn't even side for this, lol. But that's fine. Or you can make Giant Ogre, which gives you disruption / protection. Like either one of these is fine. But the thing that is different, which is nice if you're going second, is actually I think this is this was 2 plus this wasn't, sorry, that was for a different, so initially I'm running what's his face? I'm running this thing to get Phantasme in my side deck, but normally this would be like a third Power Load Ogre. But you can end either on like 2 Power Loads, which is like, it's nice because they're both 4,000, I think, because it's 12 to
1,000 total, because
1,000, yeah, and then yeah. So 38 100 towers, which is obviously pretty scary. Or if you had these two, and then you make with these the where is it? Not in my deck, of course, it's in my grave. You made this because it's a right pointing arrow, which is why I like default to the left side. You could obviously here, you could summon the parallel exceed, which would let you summon another parallel exceed, which I was running 3 of. And the nice thing here is now with these 3, you can make...
I didn't realize the code breakers were warriors.
Access code talker. And now this is a scary board. Because now it's 2 4K towers and it's access code talker. And the really cool thing here is access code, obviously, now because of the code breakers, actually has earths and darks that you can use. So you actually get 2 pops. So this is like, there's probably something else as well, but like this was by far the best thing that I found. And I think like for a like closed format like this, I think like this is pretty good. But obviously, when you take into consideration that literally 3 out of the 40 cards in my deck do anything, it's not great.
Yeah.
But at this point, also, I'm used to that.
Specifically for this matchup, this is sort of an interesting situation because these 2 cards are like, they're unaffected by other monsters' effects or other cards' effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Har is a weird fucking card. It has the Daruma cannon thing, where a card that is unaffected by other cards' effects can still be affected by cards that affect you.
Yes.
And Har affects you.
Yeah, if Power Load is the only card on my field, it doesn't matter against Har.
Yes.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, that was also kind of the issue with like obviously where like as I said, like my 2 decks that I was considering were Generaider and Gouki, and obviously in this matchup and Har being probably the best one out of the bunch, usually the first one you go for, it is very hard to do anything because in addition to that there are obvious like other negates, like Nidhogg being the big one, because obviously the one thing that's really good against Generaider is Nib is always up, because one boss stage fills your board, it's always Nibiru is up. But like having multiple cards like Nidhogg to just say no to Nib with means that there's not really much I can do there. But this is more like at this point, like I'm expected to lose. I just play the wacky shit that basically never works. So it's like there needs to be a miracle for me to actually win, or you to just literally be playing I was gonna say, or you to be playing something with 0 interaction, but actually both of those things need to happen. Because like I said, I have 3 starters in my entire deck, so the expectation is kind of there. But at this point, I'm more playing for the the potential man thing. There, it's like, hey, the concept is cool, and obviously, the match people waited for basically a month for. A wet fart, which is nothing, but it's like the moment where it's like, okay, well now let me show you what happens in this miracle of fairyland. Like that's the cool part at this point for me. But yeah, that's how Yu-Gi-Oh be, and obviously, especially in something like this, sometimes the matchup just end up being really bad. But
like this deck specifically feels like the kind of deck that Gokis are not meant to win against.
Yeah, no.
And at the moment, I think a big issue for your deck specifically is just the fact that it doesn't have that much consistency tools, even though it's a warrior deck, which makes it really sad. Because like obviously your best consistency tool is like arguably what the fuck is it called again? Ice Hold. But then you're into the issue of, okay, so you make Ice Hold using what? Oh, you make it
Yeah.
using Gokis? Or you still need the specific Goki in hand to do that? Okay, well, I'm gonna play Neospace Connector, and then I'm gonna get stuff out. But doesn't the specific Goki still need to be normal summon rather than
Yeah,
special summon?
it literally needs to be
It's like-
normal. So that's the thing. Is like, oh, also I misspoke when earlier I said I have literally 3 starters in my deck. Technically, I have 4 because obviously I'm playing Rhoda, but it's still like
yeah.
10% of my deck functions because none. That's the issue with also a like more closed format like this, and also the fact that we are playing. We don't have, like, for example, here we don't really have access to like link ones or anything, and that is also why the hence the like more focus on the obviously I forgot to cite, but I don't think it would have mattered because this matchup, but the that was the idea with the side decking as well, being just mostly hand traps, where it's like, because Super X is the only thing that gets me anything, so I would rather have a Super X, the stuff that I need for my combo, and everything around it be a way to deal with something that you're doing. Because it's like, if I don't get Super X, I'm not playing the game anyway, so I would rather have stuff preventing you from playing than to have something else there be, well, especially in the case of like the equips, even if I had the space for those, like being just extra bricks.
Yeah, I think there aren't really many arguments for trying to outpace this deck. Your goal should just be to be like, hey, buddy, you can't do this. You're not allowed. Like, you should be trying to prevent me from summoning my ads. Like, if we're thinking about it as the raid boss scenario, this deck is not something that you try to overcome. It's something that you prevent from getting to the point where it's insurmountable.
Yeah, and this is also like in the raid boss incident. Like, this is, I sit my mother down on my chair, I install Final Fantasy 14, and with the level 0 character, I go to the hardest endgame raid, and then I tell her good luck. That was essentially this matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right.
You're playing Protoss too?
There's one copy of it, isn't there? Yeah.
I see.
I was running into an issue where I was like, I have 19 cards in my deck.
You're
that-
playing
that
just
are from the
Hierarchia for sure, right? But you weren't playing
Yes.
Hierarchia?
I am. It's on the field right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say, because like this felt like it's a shoe in for that. There's like initially like going through the set, like having the like this is like the way when Generaider gets the like really good support, and in addition to those, like Hierarchia being in the set was like that was the spark that was like, okay, I'm building Generaider for this, because it's like it was a like perfect fit for the deck, and it was clearly, that's why it came out in the set, because it was clearly designed to work with it. So that was all my idea there as well.
A part of the reason why I'm playing Corridors in here is actually because of Hierarchia. Because I was like, well, I have a bunch of stuff that can end up getting banished for one reason or another. But Hierarchia is guaranteed gonna end up banished after it gets summoned. So I get to just recycle it, and I get an extra body on field, which is a 1.9k body that can swing over a lot of things still.
Most normal
Like,
summonable things.
Yeah, let's not forget that I've won games off of normal summoning one Neos alias.
Yep.
It's
I mean, it
just
was
beat
a
down
couple
all
of
of
years ago, but still, it's still a
Okay,
good
yeah, but like
strategy.
we started Link era,
Yeah.
so it's still fairly relevant. And then on top of that, it's a body to use for nightmares, and I just kind of, and obviously it's also usable for access code.
Yep.
So if I end up in a position where I'm like, well, I can make access code, I'm gonna try to go for access code.
Yeah.
And I thought, because like this deck doesn't really have that many cards that it can like play right now, because the rank 9s that I could play or that I have used outside of specific niche decks that I could have had access to, they're banned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where-
Surprisingly, the only other rank 9 that's any good currently is a fucking floodgate, and it's the most annoying floodgate in the game. BFD is just like absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And then I had this in here as well, and I was like, I can maybe get into this.
Yo!
I can't make much with this, so it's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Also, Jormungandr is also interesting because it has the same thing as Har, where it has the effect of you attach cards to my guy.
Yeah. But that is
Which then-
like after a drawing, and then, you
Yes.
know, it's from hand.
And because you
so-
can, You can
Actually,
be
yeah,
anything
this is
from
only
hand or
from.
field.
Oh, it is hand from. Yeah. So it's
Hand or
like,
field.
as long as I was gonna say like as long as I have cards in my deck, but yeah, if I draw the last one, the game's over anyway. So it doesn't really work for that. But yeah, for both of these, like the idea was essentially like there wasn't much else that interested me in the set. Like I said, like Gouki for a long time, and Generator obviously is one of those decks that is pretty easy and kind of plays itself, which is what I like because it's like then easy to pilot. And both of those obviously having these things that in the set that just slotted in nicely, like treasure hierarchy for Generator, and for Gouki the Virus Swordsman stuff was neat because without that actually your ceiling becomes it's essentially you make Gouki the power load ogre, and then you make a another link too, which is not great, but
No.
it's like because the stuff that I was playing, I had another copy of Heal Ogre, and then just the other two that I just have is this, which doesn't do much, but it's like it's there. But the Virus Swordsman stuff not only gives you what like really consistent you can just make to power load ogres, which is already nice, but that and Parallel Exceed both being in the set, and obviously those just making this board super nicely was just like, oh wait, that's actually really cool, and it like slots in really well as well. Was pretty nice, and it doesn't unlike the issue with Assault, like that didn't take too many slots because it's literally 2 slots out of your extra deck and 1 from your main deck, because the zero deck can be summoned from hand deck or great, like it can be summoned from anywhere, which is the nice thing about it. So it just like it was super, and in addition to everything, obviously, so you said like those are also warriors, which makes power load ogre, which is nice. Because if you just look at them, it's like, oh, yeah, of course these are cybers like every other codebreaker stuff. But then it's like, wait a goddamn second, where are these warriors? But it works out.
What the fuck?
And then obviously the fact that all Goukis are Earths, but with those you also get Dark, so you have at least 2 pops for access code, which is nice. And I mean, to be fair, like
And also
if
you have Nib in there too, right? Or
yeah, but
Vanish Link Monster.
yeah, it's Link Monster, because like otherwise, obviously you would also have what's his face, Parallax Seed. But yeah, it's Link Monster. But it's still like at the same time, like realistically, if I have 2 4K towers, and this would be then summoned with a 2, so I would have a 2 4K towers, a 4300 access code talker, and 2 pops from access code talker. Realistically, if I get to this board, like I don't think you're living, but that's the thing, is like it's the big if you get there, which is the unlikely thing to happen, but still.
I think the most interesting thing about like Access Code Talker is the fact that it's not an insurmountable like final boss.
Yep. It just
It's like it's
really
not like
good.
ours. It's not unaffected. It's not protected. It has nothing to it except for I'm gonna beat you the fuck up right here, right now. And if I fail, then I didn't even give a fuck. I don't play this game. And then you explode if it doesn't go through. It's really cool as a kind of pinnacle for a deck.
Yeah.
Because it's not a boss monster in the traditional sense of a Yu-Gi-Oh boss monster. It's a problem solver.
Yeah, I think like I get that it's like people probably don't like it that much because it's kind of boring, but like Borlord and Borlsword are both like neat, but I don't know. I think Access Code is like one of the like better designed Yu-Gi-Oh cards probably of all time, where it's like it's very splashable. It's really good in a lot of scenarios. Like it really helps a bad deck. If your deck is struggling to finish off a game, it's pretty easy to slot in there. It still like takes like it uses a bit of materials and everything, but it's all in all, I don't know. It just I really like Access Code Talker. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it feels like just a really good card, but it doesn't feel like, oh, that shit's bullshit. Obviously, in something like the more limited format like this, it's going to be more powerful by otherwise, but I still don't know. I really like Access Code Talker, and I think it's genuinely like probably one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. But it's still like, because it's that like homogeneous, that's why like we're still not it's possible enough as is, and it's like
Link monster support. It's technically effect monster support, so you know.
yeah, but it's like the because this was one card that I was like thinking is like if there's another link monster to add to the generic pool, I think it's this. But at the same time, it's like already like we are spamming. Yeah, we're spamming our decks full of nightmares already. And if you think about it, like you do have Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn that all already like deal with cards as well. So it's like, do we need another one that's a way to deal with cards in addition to being a finisher and in a like usually lower powered format as what we're doing? Like more often than not, I feel like on the long run, like it would end up being like a lot of games come down to just like, all right, let me just slam Access Code Talker down and like probably win through that. And like on the long run, I think it would be a little bit boring, but I still look at to sing his praises. And like I said, I think like this is one of the cooler Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like period.
I think Access Code Talker in comparison to Borreload, which we made earlier, Borreload and Borreload Sword, more specifically Borreload, is interesting because Access Code Talker is the kind of card that you make in a deck to end the game, right? Same as Borreload Sword. But unlike Borreload Sword and Borreload Dragon, the protection that it has is strictly, hey, you can't react to me.
Yeah.
I'm too fast for you to do anything. It's not a case of like, hey, I'm gonna make my Borreload Sword, I'm gonna make my Borreload. You can't do anything to this guy on your turn because your whole deck is a low power deck that can't target my card. And it's like, oh, suddenly this is a lot worse. So suddenly Access Code Talker, if it can't finish the game, is infinitely worse as an option than Borreload or Borreload Sword Dragon, which is you just slam on field, and now it can stay there because your opponent is playing Fire Fist, and all of their cards target.
Yeah.
Very specific example, I know, but like, I think that reason is why Access Code feels like a fair card. You got to the point where you made Access Code without me having to without me expending my responses. And now you're on Access Code, and I have my responses up, but I'm not using them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on me. I didn't use them to prevent you from getting to Access Code Talker. It's not a case of, okay, I need to save my responses for you when you're getting into Borreload Sword, and then it turns out that I can't actually beat it because all of my responses are targeting or something. Or all of my responses happen on my turn, and I can't beat it because of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes Access Code Talker more fair of a card, and it kind of just goes to show that they clearly do have the ability to make cards that are cool, feel satisfying to play, have good counterplay, and are also like actually fair.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, they choose not to do that.
Yep.
Because it's harder to make a card like that feel good and worth paying money for.
It is true, but they're like ultimately like the thing that made to apply this was just like Gouki is conceptually just cool. Obviously, Yu-Gi has quite a few, which is kind of interesting. Like has quite a few like actually like wrestler-esque archetypes, which is kind of neat. Yeah. But yeah, obviously
so
like early.
The low reason why we have two of these, why we have Dino Wrestlers and Gokis, is because there was one guy that played Wrestlers in Reigns, and then he becomes he's a face at first,
yeah,
and then he becomes a heel, and then he changes to Dino Wrestlers, and I think later on he just goes off the deep end and he doesn't play Goki or Dino Wrestlers anymore.
Gotcha. But yeah, like for the final note, just like for the other stuff that I was running, because obviously I had more slots here. It's just the Blade Ogre. It's a link 3, so it's pretty easy to make, and it's like if you expanded your power loads, if you expanded access code, or if it got disrupted, like this is still a way where maybe you can swing for game with this. And then obviously I said earlier, like Giant Ogre is a link 4 that actually gives you some sort of disruption, and Master Ogre is a link 4 where it's like, because I said earlier, like without the Fire Swordsman stuff, you don't really do much. Where if you make a Power Load Ogre after that, and then I guess I just got booted up, but it's fine. But the effect was essentially like you can return any number of Gouki monsters to your hand to negate the same amount of monsters on your opponent's side, and it just has a static effect where you can attack all your opponents once each. So it's a way where if you have made all your power laws, you don't have those anymore, you still want to go for a 4. Thanks to, like, you can always add at the end, like when you're keying everything, you can add with your final 2 that you make the what's his face? You make normally the Virus Swordsman with. One of those is the Bear Hug that you still haven't used earlier in that turn. So the Bear Hug can add rematch to your hand, which means that you will have 2 Goukis. You can always like do the same combo without just having expanded resources from your deck, but you have multiple copies of many of them. Again next turn, and then obviously you just can't end on a double power load. You need to do something else. And because I was only running 1 copy of all of the Virus Swordsman stuff, it means that after I've expanded that if I still get another turn, I get to actually do the full combo then again, because you get to revive 2 Goukis at the end. You don't now need to actually, you're not using them to make link plays anymore, unless you, well, you might if you're making like a Giant Ogre and then a Link 2 if you can win with that, but usually it's better to just make the Master Ogre, and then the 2 things that you actually revive, you can bounce those back to your hand to negate 2 of your opponent's monsters, and then Master Ogre can swing into obviously everything, and maybe the negation is what make sure breaks the situation there. And the nice thing there is as well, because you're not then sending the stuff to the garbage, the 2 things that you can bounce, you can always just add Super X and whatever you want to summon with Super X. So it's like you actually have like multiple turns where you have pretty decent plays, which makes like Gouki probably actually pretty decent in a like more lower powered format, or against a deck with like obviously less disruption, because like at first you're putting up a really potent port. If you can get there, probably you're winning, but even if you get disrupted, it's still fine. Next turn you can make something that disrupts still your opponent's board, still swings for good damage, and even if that turn you don't win and it gets dealt with, you still have, once again, you have your 2 main pieces in your hand, and you can do 1 more time, assuming you just have enough stuff in your extra deck remaining, you can still go for 1 more go around, which gives you just like essentially 3 turns of pretty powerful plays, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, we talked about extensively about like the power of just having a super resilient deck, especially in a format like this.
A lower power format where it's already like super difficult to get a lot of value out of your deck, having the ability to recur a lot of that stuff that was difficult to get in the first place is good.
Yeah. Exactly, but alas, a potential man strikes once again. 0 results, 0 opening, 0 results, 0 plays turn 1, and 7 potential disruption points. That'll be the
3 starters.
Potential. Yeah, it's not as 007, it's actually 003. 0 playable hands, 0 plays, and 3 starters in your entire deck. That's good. But yeah, regardless though, that is gonna do it for us. I will just quickly peer what we have for next time. Next one is actually gonna be Toon Chaos alongside OT13. So that's gonna be what we're doing next time. I have not looked at all what we're working with there, but
oh my god,
given the name, I think there are at least Toons and Chaos cards. So, which is kind of funny timing, because I haven't really kept up with modern Yu-Gi-Oh now, but I hear that Toons are actually terrorizing the meta. Which, not knowing anything about modern Toons is really funny, because just like the concept I have of Toons and hearing that they're genuinely one of the best decks out there is like, okay, what the hell happened? But at the same time, to be fair, Super Heavy Samurai was a deck like that a couple years ago. So at this point, anything could happen.
I'm just going to throw this out. Next week, we might be on fire.
Ooh. Interesting. And you're gonna have to tune in there to see what that means. But yeah, hopefully next week is actually next week. But yeah, Jeexx does have his studies to worry about, so if sometimes we're not like super consistent, then apologies there, but well, we will do our best, and I assure you, you will very clearly hear about it if we're actually like done with the series. But for now, like at least I'm still like very keen on keeping on going and seeing what the future holds for us. We have just started the 2020 era, I think. If I'm not mistaken, Eternity Code was the Japanese do months first, right? So this is 1st of May when Eternity Code came out. So
yes, June Chaos is June.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, we're still on the earlier half of 2020, but like we're talking about like this is what feels like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Ready to me, and it's like, oh yeah, final note as well. Apparently, Eternity Code is the final pack in the V-Reigns era.
That is correct. We are now, in my mind, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh!
Because this is the end of the anime.
Yeah, we're in post-anime era Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is a huge leap in, I was gonna say quality, but no, that's not actually
Power.
True. This is a huge leap forward for the game.
Mm-hmm. And then they started just printing bullshit for a bunch of legacy archetypes. But we're still like, for a lot of those things, we're still some ways from them. But, you know, Dragoon is there.
Dragoon is coming.
But yeah.
Do not forget.
It is true. But regardless, next time we will see you for Toon Chaos as well as OT13. It is very good to be back, and also thank you for the comments regarding like, hey, are you guys done? There's not been any new episodes. Genuinely means the world, because this started as just some fun idea that we were just gonna, you know, let's just play some Yu-Gi-Oh, see how it goes, and the fact that there are some people who actually care about the the slop that we put out, Loki, it warms my heart. So shout out to you, and thank you. We will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day and week, and peace.